Hello, everyone. Welcome to Let's Talk Business. It's me, Christine from New Jersey. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everyone across the globe. Today, we will hear the story of an amazing couple who become action takers and now took a leap of faith of becoming an online business owner. He is a life coach, a higher education educator, and she is an elementary school administrator from San Antonio, Texas. Without further ado, welcome Willie and Lisandra. Hi, Willie,
Hi.
Lisandra.
Hello.
How are you,
Hi, I'm
Christine?
good. How are you?
Doing well.
I'm great.
Yeah, I'm really glad that you acknowledged my invitation here on my business page. Thank you so much.
Thank you for
Yes.
having
Thank
us.
you for having us. Thank you so much.
Okay, to all the viewers, they're interested to know who is Willie and Lisandra.
Well, I guess you've mentioned a few things already. So we are educators. I work in the public school system, and I've been doing that for about 20 years. And
Ooh.
Willie himself was in the public school system as well until the last few years. Where now, like you mentioned, he's in
Yeah.
higher education. So he's been.
Yeah, I've been in public ed. I was in public ed for 20 years.
Mhm.
I'm in higher ed. I've been in higher ed for 4 years. So I teach in higher,
Oh,
like
wow.
as a professor.
Yeah.
And like you said
Yeah.
before in the introduction, Lysandra is an elementary administrator. We have two
That's
kids.
right.
One in college, just finished his freshman year, and our daughter just finished her sophomore year in high school.
Yes.
And they just so we're
Wow.
looking forward to the summer.
Absolutely.
Yeah, nice. Thank you for sharing your background.
Mhm.
Okay. Why and how did you start an online business?
I guess there's multiple reasons. So for us, it's like I mentioned, like it's a couple of things. We started really looking actively last year around the time of the pandemic, right? Just looking
Yeah.
for an opportunity of, okay, what's out there to be able to work from home. And
That's right.
and also we started sort of researching because we are thinking about in the next few years retiring
Yeah.
from education. So what's next? What's the next step
Yeah.
for us? And
I think the pandemic, we can't. I'm not blaming the pandemic, but the pandemic forced us to look at things a little bit different, because we didn't know what we didn't know.
yeah,
So, we're thinking about, okay, now here we are, we're faced with this situation. How does our job outlook? What does it look like for us in the future? Do we work remotely? Do we go to work? So we're going to take a risk? All these questions started to come up. And so
That's right.
that's what we started researching, and we came across this business.
And you know how sometimes when you're in difficult situations like that, like, the initial times of the pandemic, you really start reflecting on your life and what's important to you and who you want to spend that time with. And so we're like, okay, do we want to spend hours away from home? Or do we want to spend it with those that are closest to us, with the people that
That's
we
right.
love, and we enjoy working with one another and just in being together. And
But all the while we prayed about that.
Yes.
So we prayed all the way
Yes.
out, and we looked at all the variables,
right,
and so that's why we're here.
right,
That's right. I believe in that. Even though we go through this pandemic, if you look at the positive side of it, the brighter side of it, it had brought us something good in our life as well, right? We just have to look at the other side of the things that's
Right.
going on in this world.
yeah,
And, it brought us to this online business, and we had
Yes,
more time with
absolutely.
our family, right?
Yes.
Right. Okay, so what motivated you to do this business, and what is your biggest why?
Oh gosh. So family time, to spend, like we mentioned
Yeah.
before, spending time with each other, having
Right.
more time to
Right.
spend with the kids.
Mhm.
And that's just the number one, just
Yeah.
being with family.
And and I want to echo what Lysandra said. The pandemic forced us to talk to one another more often. We talk a
That's
lot.
right.
We
Yeah.
talk with one another. So I would reach out to family. How you doing? Everything fine with you? Call them with Zoom more often. Everybody's
Yeah.
online. We can't leave the house. Everything's
true.
crucial. Nobody want to go get ice cream anymore. We gotta get our groceries delivered. And so we're sitting there. We're talking like, what can we do together? As a family.
That's right.
So as a husband and a wife, what can draw us closer together. We can work on something and moving forward. So,
and we've just reached that stage in our lives, like we mentioned before.
Yeah.
Not that we haven't enjoyed what we do, because we feel like be an educator is a calling, spending that time, educating the youth and giving to the community in that way, getting to know families and colleagues and things like that. But it's been a lot of years and a lot of hours.
there are a couple other things too. We have one already in college, another one coming, right after our son going to college. We love the beach. We love the water. We love vacationing. We've got plans. And so, we're looking for that business that's going to help us supplement and plan and make and have an additional income to help us get us a vehicle to get us to that.
Even while we're still on vacation.
While we're still on vacation.
That's enjoy that beach and enjoy the lake and those kinds of things that we like to do together as a family. And, still have a business that's working.
Yeah. That goes with my next question. What is the convenience of this online business and how much time you spend on it?
Wow. I tell you what, it's a blessing because we do not have to go door to door selling vacuum cleaners. Not that it's a bad thing, but we don't have the time to do that. We don't have the time to set up a brick and mortar, sit behind a register and take on clients. It's automated. We're able to put these things in place and let it run. You can tweak, it brings out a creative side of you.
It sure
so the remote piece, the automatic piece is what drew us to the business. I mean, it's convenient to the fullest.
That and the training, because it's like the training that's available, you can, it's really great training.
Yeah, thorough.
And the mentors, the mentorship that's there and the example, I mean, when we say like step by step, I mean, it's showing you exactly what you need to do every step of the way. And if you have any questions, you've got great role models to reach out to.
Yeah, and the time, the question, the answer, the how much time, you're talking about maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours, depending on what day it is, how hectic your day is. So, once you go through training and then you're able to just monitor and adjust. We do that in the education field where we're teaching a class of students and we expect them to be at the same place at the same time. That's not realistic. So some kids get it, some students don't get it, and some fall further behind. So as an educator, what we do is that we have to monitor and adjust our lesson plan so that everybody can arrive at the same time. Same thing with this business. We have to look at it. Is it working for us? Is it not working for us? So I say about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. Maximum.
And because we work it as a couple, we kind of we sort of split responsibilities too. So there are things that Willie is really great at in the business, things that I'm doing, and so we'll kind of split the pieces of it and work it that way. And
that's been very interesting because it's drawn us closer together. But we have these different conversations. There are things that we don't know, but we have to learn together. So that's the beauty behind working together.
And the beauty of this online business, you learn a lot of things. Especially when we have that weekly mastermind and stuff. We learn a lot of things, not only from the training, but with the people we are working with. Right. Yeah, and it's really amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing when sometimes you can feel like you're on an island doing it by yourself, but when you get engaged in the mastermind, you realize, wait, we're all doing the same thing.
And people have similar questions, similar situations.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so it's so we can learn from one another.
Right.
And he's always been like the tech person in our family. It comes easy to him. For me, technology, not so much, but I have learned so much through this business because of the training. And so I'm like, because it's step by step, I can pull it up. I'm like, I can do that.
And that is so true. We talk about not having to be tech savvy, and Lisandra is not really tech savvy, but she's able to. Yeah. So she's doing a good job.
Yeah, the training is really amazing because it was supported by videos.
Yes.
That will be easier for those who are more,
like visual learners. Yes. I'm very much a visual learner. And then I have to do it too. So that I practice.
That's amazing. Thank you for sharing that. So what are the benefits you get from this business? Well, I know you mentioned that you have family time and everything. So when you have
to go to work. That's one thing, right? But when you have a business, we have to ask ourselves, is it working for us? Is it not working for us? But when you know there's something working for you, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. So you can see a target and you're shooting for one thing, you're aiming for it. There are some times where people get into businesses where they don't know where they're going in the business and they fail. And you can look at the research. So within a year or two, if you don't have a solid foundation, it will fail. So the benefit of this business is that we have a direction.
Yes.
And so, it's consistent with every platform that we engage in, and there's that plan in place, and we have a target. And that's one of the huge benefits I see.
Right.
In the business.
And it's tried and true, because there's people that have come before us that are doing it and being successful. And so we're able to follow in those footsteps too. Right. And really it's fun too. Like for us, it's been fun. Like when we get together and do the weekly webinars and we're able to add value to the world and share those kinds of things. Yes. So one of the things that that we have committed to is that no matter what business, like even when we first started looking, whatever business we decide to do, whatever choice we make, we wanted to be able to use it as a ministry piece, to be able to like share our faith with people and to be able to share how that has helped us within the digital business. And so we don't, that's been a huge blessing that we're able to do that.
We didn't feel like we wanted to be bridled, our voice, to be bridled in such a way that it constricts or restricts our voice. So there, we have the World Wide Web. We have access to the world through technology.
Right.
So, we were a little bit reluctant to bring our personal life into the World Wide Web, but here we are and we're loving it.
Well, and it's because we wanted to be able to be authentic and to be ourselves no matter what. And so with the business, we can do that, and we can share with like-minded people. So
yes.
Yeah. That's very amazing, your story. I've been watching your, for everybody who is curious to see Willie and Lisandra, visit their business page, because if you watch their weekly webinar, you will see that it's they always share some motivational messages to all the viewers, and it's really inspiring to watch your weekly webinar. Yeah. So talking about that, you were mentioning on your business page always about the nuggets of wisdom. Yes. Any nuggets of wisdom you want to share to the viewers, especially for the fence sitters or the people who are afraid to take a step to achieve their goals or dreams? Anything that you want to advise them?
I would say, I guess, for them to really reflect on what that fear is that's keeping them from taking the next step. And if they just have questions, they can always message us, and we can communicate that way. But for example, if it's like, gosh, I don't know, because I'm not tech savvy, like we were talking about earlier, then just know that that there's training and support provided. So if that's the only thing that's holding you back, keep that in mind.
Yes, I would say to people who are curious, right? I would say, ask yourself why. Lisandra said reflect.
Yeah.
Ask yourself, why would you want to engage in a business?
Right.
Right. Okay. And so, because it's a relationship that you have to establish with your business. If you don't, if you can think of a relationship, you foster the communication, you foster the goals, you foster these things, and you nurture it. So I think that, if you get into a business, it's a relationship. So do not be afraid. You're going to have apprehensions. You're going to have apprehensions of speaking to people. We get it. It's not like we just roll out of bed and we just start talking. So we have to think. We have to think, what are we going to say to people? Is it going to bring value to it? So I would say, if you're on the fence and you're curious, to go ahead and just take a leap of faith. Take a leap of faith. It's a risk, of course. You're going to put yourself out there. Yeah. Be willing to be vulnerable. Be willing to make mistakes, because when you do this business, you can't base what your success on anybody else's success. It's what you put into it. So if you put 100% into it, you're going to get something out of it. No matter what you do. That's pretty much like a rule of thumb of life, so to speak. If you put effort into it, you're going to get the consequences. Going to be a benefit of some sort.
That's true. How can we move forward if we don't take a step on something, right?
Exactly.
If you let the fear hold you back.
Yeah,
That's
just
true.
take the first step, and people will be with you to help you take the next step and next step, and then you'll look back a year from now saying, "Wow, I had to crawl before I can walk," and here we
Yes.
are.
That's true. That's
Yeah.
true. I mean, okay, everyone, thank you. Thank you, Willie and Lisandra. God bless. Thank you so much
Yes.
for coming into my business page.